hunting,
fishing,
cooking,
camping,
conservation,
travel,
gardening,
photography, family.
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 This is the Outdoor Rules Podcast. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the podcast. We're in the Outdoor Rules West studio. This, of course, is Mike. And with me this week, we got a kind of a surprise guest. Say hi.
Hi.
That's Hunter there. Hunter, what are you doing?
I came out here to hunt turkeys with you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're in between Pennsylvania and Wyoming, right?
Yep. I'm going to be on my way to Wyoming hopefully on Tuesday.
I guess start with that story a little bit. What brings you this way?
So I got a summer job with Wyoming Game and Fish. I'm going to be a fisheries technician.
Where at?
In Cody, Wyoming is the office I'm based out of.
Cody's a nice place. I've always liked Cody a lot.
I've never been there, but the rest of Wyoming was nice, so hopefully I'll like it.
How far is it from the east entrance to Yellowstone? Do you know?
It's a little over an hour.
Yeah. 50,
At least from
50 miles or something.
Yeah, from where my house is.
Right. Yeah, I used to spend just a little bit of time in Cody when I was working in Yellowstone way back in the day. So you're on your way to Cody, but you decided to swing by New Mexico. It's basically on the way.
It's really not.
No.
It's like 14 hours out of the way.
Right. And I don't know. We'll try to start this at the beginning. Hunter, where do you've been on the podcast once before, right? Just once? Yeah, on Good Luck, Bad Luck, Who Knows, right?
Yep.
You were the good luck.
I was the good luck.
You had a good luck deer season. Tell us, remind everybody a little bit about where you fit into the family.
So I am Matt's second oldest, his youngest son. Grant is older than me, and then I have two younger sisters, Addison and Kaylee.
And for the most part, you do a lot of hunting and fishing, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And Grant fishes quite a bit. Your dad said he's been trout fishing quite a bit lately. And then Addison doesn't do a ton of hunting and fishing, although she does a little bit of fishing, right?
Yeah, she hunted for maybe a season. Did she kill a deer?
Yeah, I was there. I was visiting home. She got one with a crossbow.
But I don't think that was really her thing.
No. Well, but then Kaylee, on the other hand, she
she does quite a bit of whitetail hunting.
Right. You and Kaylee kind of got the bug, particularly for hunting more so than Grant and Addison. But anyway, so 23 years ago now.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I know. I'm going way back. This is back before you. How old are you?
I'm 20 years old.
You're 20. So 23 years ago, I graduated with a degree in fish biology from Mansfield University. And then 3 years later, you came along.
Yep.
Right?
Greatest day of your life.
You said it, not me, buddy. And then 3 years ago, you kind of followed that same path, right?
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I didn't really, going through high school, didn't think I was going to go to college. I don't really know when I changed my mind or what made me change my mind. You definitely had something to do with it, especially with picking a school. I don't really love school all that much, but the program at Mansfield seemed like it would kind of fit what I like to do, and thought I'd give it a shot at least. So I went, and I love it there.
That's good. Yeah. I mean, I think Mansfield is a great place to go to school if you really like to hunt and fish.
Yeah.
I mean, it is really well situated in Pennsylvania for that. I guess tell us just a little bit about Mansfield. Where is it?
It's in north central Pennsylvania. It's about 15 miles from the New York border.
Yeah, so like just south of Corning, kind of.
Yeah.
It's almost like dead in the middle of the state too,
Mhm.
and it's situated where Route 15 and Route 6 intersect. So it's easy to get north and south, like to Williamsport,
Yep.
to the south, or up into New York, like we were saying. At Corning, we used to go run up there and then run over to Elmira, New York, and then it's easy to go east and west. Like Route 6 runs from Mansfield. If you go west from Mansfield, how long does it take you to get to our deer camp?
Like an hour 15.
Yeah. So it's kind of one of the things I really liked about it was, I was obviously familiar with the area around our deer camp. And I would say that when I started going to Mansfield, I thought I would spend a lot more time at deer camp, or at least in that part of Potter County. And I don't know what you found, but I found that I didn't, just because there's so much to do.
Yeah, I think probably in 3 years, been over there maybe 5 times, and
Yeah.
probably 3 or 4 of those were because there were people there I wanted to see. There's
Right.
so much other stuff to do that's so much closer.
So what are kind of the big things that you like to do outdoors around Mansfield?
So fishing, obviously the big 3 lakes there, Hammond, Tioga, Cowanesque. Had the boat up there last year. Did quite a bit of fishing.
And that's mostly bass fishing?
Yes. There's a lot of good trout fishing, although I haven't really been into that lately. Over towards Pine Creek. And then I did a lot of pheasant hunting this year. They stock a lot of fields around there, and waterfowl all through winter. But
yeah, you do a lot of waterfowl hunting, right?
yeah, that's sort of since I got to college. Well, like last year of high school, that's sort of been my main thing, is waterfowl.
The thing you haven't done much of there, you haven't done a lot of deer hunting, right?
No. So I'm a little bit spoiled. Public land deer hunting is it's fun, and I do it sometimes, when we're up at the cabin, but I also don't find myself having a lot of time, especially in that fall, archery into rifle season, where I can go sit for a whole afternoon. A lot of times I'm only free at 5,
Right.
and it gets dark at 7. So
yeah, we did a lot of deer hunting when I was there, and part of that was, we did a lot of door knocking. We went to a lot of farms and had pretty good success finding permission. That was, like I said, that was 23 years ago, so that may have really changed.
Yeah, I did quite a bit of that for waterfowl when I first got there, but I would say it's probably 20 to 1 no's to yeses.
Oh yeah.
That'd be you could spend you can spend 2 days and you might get permission at one spot.
Yeah. I got my first archery deer there at Mansfield, on a place that we just went and knocked on a door and got permission to hunt. And I guess tell us just a little bit about the academic side of Mansfield and what you're doing and what that's like.
Yeah, so I'm getting a degree, or hopefully going to finish getting a degree.
You better get a degree
in
at this point.
Fisheries biology. It's a really good program there. Everywhere that I've gone, every state, if I talk to people in the industry, they know of Mansfield.
Yeah.
I don't really know what else to say academically.
Yeah, where are you in the program?
Yeah, so the program runs on a 2-year cycle. So they'll take 2 different classes, basically mush them together, and you take all of your coursework together. So I was on the later end of that. So I came in as a freshman, starting my coursework with the sophomores that had come in the last year. And at this point, finishing my junior year, I'm done with all my fisheries stuff. So I just got to get some more credits and then graduate.
So your core coursework is out of the way, but you got gen ed stuff to finish up. So
which is a little bit, I kind of wish I would have done it the other way, because now it worked out for me because now I can do all of my gen ed stuff online, and that allows me to come out here and do this summer job that I'm doing.
Right. And you've got you've got a little bit of prior work experience in the field, right?
Yeah, so what would that have been? Summer of 23? Yeah,
Yeah.
summer of 23, I was in Wyoming, working for Game and Fish, but I was doing aquatic invasive species work, which I had a great time out there. Basically, a majority of my job was just waiting at check stations, checking boats, which I really didn't have a problem with because I just enjoyed being out there. Um, and I had a great schedule out there, so I had a lot of free time where I could go explore.
Yeah, and I mean your setup was kind of nice. I came up and visited you. You stayed? They put you up in a camper.
Yeah, so I was on a camp post at Keyhole State Park. I was about 45 feet from the lake.
Yeah, so the state park is mostly a lake, right?
Yeah.
Pretty big, not like a gigantic lake, but pretty big.
I think it's like 13,000 acres.
And do they consider that to be in the Black Hills?
I know that where I worked, which I worked right on the South Dakota border, which was about 50 minutes from where I lived. That was still Black Hills, but I don't know that Keyhole was.
Kind of like on the edge.
Yeah,
of the
it would
Black
be
Hills.
on the edge.
And that work. Well, I guess tell us a little bit about that work and like what the point was.
Yeah, so our main goal was to prevent the spread of aquatic invasive species. Mainly that was zebra and quagga mussels for us. We did check bait buckets and stuff for some invasive minnows, but most of that was zebra and quagga mussel work. And basically, boat would come in, see where it's coming from, where it was last, and then if needed, you do a decon. And
Yeah. So let's dig into just a few terms there for not every one of our dozens of listeners is probably totally familiar. So zebra and quagga mussels are both they're both real small mussels that come from kind of the Eurasian part of Eastern Europe, and they arrived here. Both of them arrived here in ballast water from big ocean going ships. So I think they might both be from the Caspian Sea, and basically those ships fill up their ballast water tanks, which is a way that they essentially balance the ships out for ocean going voyages, and then they come all the way across the ocean, all the way across the Atlantic, and they go through the lock system into the Great Lakes.
Yeah.
And when they get in the Great Lakes, they unload, they have to change the water that's in their ballast tank. They pump that water out, and of course they're pumping it directly into the lakes, and whatever's still alive in that ballast water has now been moved from wherever the ship started to the Great Lakes here in North America.
Yeah. And not to get too nitty gritty, I guess. A reason why they're a pretty big problem. So Wyoming has no lakes with zebra or quagga mussels in them right now. So that was
we don't either here in Mexico.
So that was part of the reason why that was our main focus. But a lot of the reason why they are a problem is a stage of their life cycle. They're called veligers. They're neutrally buoyant, and they can live for like up to 4 weeks in like a puddle of water.
Right.
So, boats filling up live wells, even on trailers, stuff like that. They can live. They can live out of water for. Yeah.
Outboard motor might draw water in, right?
Yeah.
Basically, anything that holds water can hold those aquatic invasive species, those zebra and quagga mussels. So, I think what you're saying is they're very easy to move around.
Yes.
And they are incredibly prolific.
Yes.
And they will attach to like any hard surface, basically, right? So, like you're saying, the veligers are free floating, but then they attach to a hard surface and they develop into adults.
Yep.
To the point where they like just absolutely cover everything.
Yeah, a lot of their they cause a lot of economic damage, a lot of that in infrastructure pipes and stuff because they'll completely close pipes shut.
Right. So, like, if you're running a power station in the Great Lakes or a municipal water supply that's pulling water out of the lakes, the mussels can grow so dense in those pipes that they actually block the pipes up, right?
Yes.
And so, like here in New Mexico, we have a lot of and in Wyoming too, there's a lot of water infrastructure around irrigation for agriculture or municipal water supply. And one of the reasons we don't want those critters is because they could cause a lot of economic damage.
Mm-hmm.
And then they also cause some environmental chaos too, right?
Yeah.
Like in the Great Lakes, they're filter feeders, and they're so prolific that they've actually, caused substantial ecological changes in the Great Lakes by, changing water clarity. They actually clear the lakes up a whole bunch, and anyway, they're just something you don't want around if you don't have them. And we mentioned the Great Lakes, but they've now spread, all throughout the Midwest. And then there's some really big lakes on the other side of Lake New Mexico and Wyoming. Lake Powell and Lake Mead have them, and there's a lot of boats that go back and forth from those places. And so your job was literally to stop boats. I mean, you didn't pull them over, but they come into an inspection station. You have to.
Yeah, you are required to stop. So where I was on the highway, it was on I-90 coming from South Dakota into Wyoming. There's like giant signs. And I know a few of the days that I was there, we would have a warden sit there. And if you run, they will pull you over and they'll ticket you.
Right.
And also the way the whole system works. So you get checked coming into the state. Say you're coming from wherever and you want to put your boat in the water in Wyoming. You get checked at the line, but at almost every lake that I know of, they're going to have a check station at the ramp. And if you can't prove that you were checked, they won't let you put your boat in the water until you get inspected.
And then when you were there doing that job, I came up and visited you just a few weeks after you got there. I think that was Memorial Day weekend.
Yes.
And boy, I was very impressed with the quality of the walleye fishing in Keyhole Lake.
Yeah, for being two, what'd you call them? Googans?
Yeah, we're Googans.
For being two Googans, we really killed them.
Man, we really did. We did amazingly good walleye fishing.
I remember going out that first day and we're like, we're not going to catch anything. And then we caught a whole bunch. I went to work the next day. He's like, some of the guy I worked with was like, you do any good? I'm like, yeah, we probably caught 50. He's like, 50?
Yeah, we're basically experts.
And then, after you left, I kept fishing for them. I, basically charted that whole lake.
Yeah.
Found where they were, but I was catching them on swim baits, trolling. People don't even know what a swim bait is out there. Like, what are you fishing with? Swim bait. What is that?
What is it?
It's a soft plastic lure that looks like a minnow.
You fish it on a jig head that kind of wobbles.
On a jig head,
right?
yep.
Yeah, well, I brought Caitlin's boat up there for you,
and
I left Caitlin's boat with you that summer, right?
I love that thing.
Yeah, it's a nice little boat. It's a 16.5-foot Yarcraft fiberglass boat, and that thing, she won't let me get rid of it.
I'll take it.
Well, yeah, I know. There's everybody that fishes out of that boat asks me, like, do you want to sell this? I'm like, no, Caitlin won't let me sell that boat. That's Caitlin's boat.
If that boat wasn't fiberglass, I would have died.
Yeah.
13,000 acres is pretty big. There were some days I was out there where it was white capping and like 3-foot waves, and I was just like,
That little boat handles a lot of water really pretty well.
Yeah.
And then we also, we won't talk about any of the secret spots, but we also did some turkey hunting when we were there. That was,
we did.
You hadn't done a ton of turkey hunting before you got there, right?
No, that was really the first time I'd ever tried to turkey hunt by myself, or really turkey hunt, to be honest. I mean, I've gone out a few times in Pennsylvania, but never with any luck. And we didn't end up shooting anything,
No.
but it was great.
Oh man, it was so much fun. We we were in these areas that had like real steep cliffs, and we were trying to work our way around private land, and we were like scaling the side of cliffs to try to get around a corner of private land to get back into where the birds were gobbling.
Yeah, it was something.
It really was.
I saw turkeys in there every single day, and I didn't kill one.
Yeah. Well, you didn't know as much about turkey hunting as you do now.
No, I'm gonna get one when I get back.
Yeah. And so you said you're headed to Wyoming for the summer to do fish tech work, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any sense for what the work will be?
Not 100%. So, I mean, based on what I know that a technician does, talking to some of the technicians from the last time I was out there, at least the fish techs, it's a lot of electrofishing. It's a lot of setting gill nets, pulling gill nets. Basically all of the what you would call manual labor in the fisheries field, but also the stuff that I enjoy the most.
Yeah. I've been there.
Yeah. I'm sure it'll get old.
Wait, no,
someday.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah, it's a really good way to make a living. I mean, you're going out and you're literally using an electrofisher or something that puts electrical current into water and temporarily stuns fish so you can catch them and then measure them and weigh them and do all that stuff. It's a pretty fun way to spend the summer, really.
And I did some of that while I was out the last time. We had a electrofishing boat out once or twice. I got to do some other stuff the last time I was out there. I think that's really what made me want to come back. I don't know if I would have spent my whole summer sitting at a check station if I would have been as excited to come back. But I got to see a lot of the other sides of the department and what they do, the wildlife side. So we did some herpetology surveys up in the mountains, and then we did a black-footed ferret survey, which was at night. That was down in Meeteetse.
Yeah, I'm really kind of jealous of that.
Yeah, it was so cool.
Yeah, because you guys caught one, right?
We did. We walked around it was a 3-night survey. Night 3 we finally caught one, but we did a lot of walking. When I got there, the guy who was running it said to me, "You like to walk?" And I said, and I mean, basically anytime anyone in that department asks me if I want to do something, I'm like, yes. So I'm like, yeah, I'll walk. That's fine. Well, I didn't realize when he asked me if I want to walk, that meant everybody else was getting trucks.
You always got to be careful how you answer these kinds of questions,
But yeah, so I walked, I think around 12 miles a night, just spotlighting, look for them, and then I wasn't in the group that caught one, but I went over then, got to see one. They're cool.
Yeah.
And there's not that many of them.
Again, I don't want to hijack an episode and talk about black-footed ferrets, but they're kind of considered one of the most endangered mammals. I mean, they thought they were extinct for a long time until is Meeteetse where they found that first one?
Yeah, we were on the ranch where they found that first one.
That's so cool. Yeah. See, it's this field that you're going into that I've been in for a long time, like, it's not something that you're going to get rich at, and there's a lot of it that it's a good way to make a living. There's a lot of it that really is just like hard manual labor, but boy, there are these moments where you just get to see some cool stuff that almost nobody else gets to experience,
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're in it for the money, you're not in it for the right reason.
Well, yeah, the money would be a terrible reason.
But I mean, and this is part of the reason why I always say yes, because I was like, black-footed ferret survey. What is a black-footed ferret?
Right.
And then went out there and saw one, and it's like, oh, probably only 1,000 people have ever seen one alive in the wild.
It cannot be.
Might not even be that much.
It cannot be a lot of people that have seen them in the wild. So, no, that's really cool, and I think you're going to have a great summer in Cody. I mean, there's some really nice stuff around Cody. I mean, we talked about Yellowstone, and you really ought to go visit the park. It's I don't know. There are those places in the world where it's easy to be negative because of how many people go there to visit. But the flip side of that coin is there's a reason why so many people go to visit.
Yeah.
Like the wildlife is so cool and the geothermal features. I mean, I kind of get jealous when I start thinking about, you being close enough to go over and fly fish the Lamar River in July. I used to go fish some of those braids kind of out in front of the old Buffalo Ranch, and just catch tons of fish on caddis.
Yeah, I'll probably end up back there.
Yeah.
I mean, we were there when you got married, right? But I was like, what, 6?
Yeah, 13 years ago, I think.
Yeah, so 7.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll probably end up back there. There's so much stuff to do in that area.
Right.
When I lived in Keyhole, I would drive to the Bighorns, and now the Bighorns are even closer.
Right.
So I'll probably be over there a lot.
But, I mean, you got the Shoshone, which more or less, is that the North Fork of the Shoshone that flows through Cody?
I don't know.
I think it is. Anyway, and Buffalo Bill Reservoir's right there. You're actually going to live real close to Buffalo Bill, right?
Yeah, my house, do you know what highway that is?
No.
Whatever that highway is that goes past there towards whichever way that is. I don't know.
Goes north.
Yeah, going north. Basically you go through the tunnel from Cody, and as you're passing the lake on the left, my house is on the right.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm excited to go get there because it seems like it's going to be great. And behind me is about 19,000 acres of BLM land, so
yeah, plenty of place to go play.
Walk out the back door
and then the other thing that's cool in Cody is the Winchester Museum is there, which is got to be the most impressive firearms museum. It's probably in the world. I mean, I can't think of another one that's similar. And then there's also just like a ton of Western art, and there's other parts of that museum too. So
yeah, I think it's going to be nice to live in a little bit closer to a population center. Because where I was in Keyhole, it was about probably 35 minutes to Sundance and probably 40-some minutes to Gillette.
Yeah.
And even those are like, Gillette reminds me a lot of where I'm from in Pennsylvania, because there's not really anything to do, but it has everything you need.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Gillette's all right, and Sundance is cool, but Cody will be a better town to hang out in for sure. So the other thing that I wanted to get into here was I thought we should talk a little bit about turkey hunting, because you have really had quite the week of turkey hunting.
Oh yeah.
And what did I tell you I was going to call this episode?
Third time's the charm.
Third time's a charm. So give us start us off with. So right now we're sitting here in the Santa Fe studio. It is Sunday evening, right? So where does this story start?
I'm going to start this story on, what would that be? May 1st?
Is that 9 days ago? I thought it was like it was only Monday.
Give me 2 seconds. I will check my calendar. No, yeah. This story starts on May 1st, the night before the opener in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
So, even to back up more, I don't really turkey hunt all that often. I've gone out with Poppy a few times. I don't think I've ever even seen a turkey while hunting.
In Pennsylvania.
In Pennsylvania.
Yep.
So I just sort of got an itch this year. I just wanted to try to turkey hunt. So I got my license, got my tags in Pennsylvania. I was up at school. I'd gotten them last fall. It's the night before the season. I'm getting all my stuff together. I'm like, all right, I'm excited. I know where there's birds. We're gonna go out in the morning. I'm gonna shoot one.
I'm gonna get a turkey.
I start thinking. I'm like, where's my hunting license? I look around, dig through the truck, dig through my room. Oh man, I don't have my hunting license. All right, let's run to Walmart quick, get it reprinted. Get to Walmart at like 9:50. Walk up to the counter, stand around. Finally, I go find somebody. Comes back. He's like working on. He asked me for my driver's license. Hits 10 o'clock. He hands me my driver's license back. Says, "Oh, I can't print this after 10." I'm like, God. I'm like, well, guess I'm not turkey hunting in the morning. So then I went back on Saturday, got my tag. That guy told me that they can print licenses after 10. The other guy just didn't want to.
That might not have been accurate.
Thank you, Walmart. So yeah, then I'm waiting around till Monday. And so in Pennsylvania, for the first 2 weeks of the season, you can only hunt till noon. And I was leaving Monday afternoon to go home because I had to drop the dog off, and then I was headed out here.
Right.
So I had 6 hours to turkey hunt, which was less than ideal, but I knew where birds were. My buddy Miken, he was taking me out, basically guiding me. So we get to the spot. He says, I got birds that roosted up here and up this hollow. We're going to sit at the bottom. They come down here and feed every morning. We sit there probably 45 minutes. It's getting to be about shooting light. And I see a guy walking like on the other side of this cut field. It's only like 50, 60 yards wide. And he's just walking up the other edge. And I'm like waving at him, and I finally like whistled, and he looked over at me. And he kept walking right up the hollow we were sitting below. Walked up there.
While the birds are gobbling.
Yeah, got to be about shooting light. Boom. I'm like, all right, well, we might as well go somewhere else.
That is Pennsylvania turkey.
Yes, that might sound crazy to somebody who hunts out here who never sees anybody in a week.
Yeah,
but we were one of like 9 trucks at the spot we went to.
Man. That's it. Like I was telling you today here in New Mexico. I mean, not everywhere. There's some places that get a little bit more pressure, but the places I hunt, like if there's somebody parked at a spot, not only will I not park at that spot, I probably won't park within the next half mile to a mile of that spot, just because I have no interest in running into somebody else.
If I tried to do that, there'd be nowhere to hunt.
Yeah, right. You just drive around.
So we moved down the road a little bit. And we park at this spot where there's two cut fields, and then there's an old, I don't know if it's a Forest Service road or just a old road,
like an old logging road.
Yeah, it's paved for the first couple 200 yards. But anyway, we park at the gate, start walking. Well, I guess before that, we parked at the spot, got out, called, heard a bird far off. We're like, all right, we're going to drive down there. So we park at that gate. Walk up probably 100 yards down that trail, call, hear a bird, but it's across a highway, and it's pretty far. So we're like, well, we're just going to keep walking. Probably going another 100 yards. That bird across the road is just calling, man. Like he wants it. So I set up. So this road's in the middle of 2 fields. It's probably 10 foot up, maybe not 10 foot, but there's a gully on each side going down to the. It's a winter wheat. It's like 2 foot tall winter wheat. So I set up in the bushes. We call it all. He calls probably 10, 15 minutes, and he's not coming. I mean, he's got to cross the highway. So in the meantime, there was a bird behind us that was calling back to us. So I switched sides of the road, set up for that one. And then that one went quiet. So, and the one across the road was still just going off like every minute, and we're not even calling anymore. So I flip back around. I get set up again. I'm in a different spot. I don't really like this spot as much, but he's going to come. And it's a real steep hillside on the other side of the highway. And we call. Finally, I see him fly. So he takes off, flies over the road. Lands probably.
This never happens.
Oh, yeah.
No. I have never called a bird across a highway, particularly one that had to fly to get from one side to the other.
So he hits the ground about, I'd say 200 yards across this open winter wheat field from me, but he's super far to the left. Now, this wheat is tall, and there's like a little bit of a hill in the middle, so I can't see him when he lands. But I know he's super far to my left, and I know the guy Miken, who was calling for me, was only like 20 yards like straight behind me.
Right.
And I thought, and I couldn't shoot to my left. I had a whole bunch of brush. So I'm thinking, well, I'm going to tell Miken to move to the right of me, back to my right. So hopefully if this bird comes in, he'll walk across in front of me instead of get to the woods before me. So I pull my phone out, start to send a text. This is probably all happening in like 30 seconds. Text him, hey, can you move to the right? He's pretty far to my left. Hit send. The minute I hit send, like 15 yards, he ran across that field. Now I'm not really ready. I mean, I have my gun in my lap. I'm waiting for him to come, but I'm not like, I wasn't prepared for that.
Right.
Look up and he's standing there. Now I thought he was looking at me. Looking back, I don't think he was. I think he was trying to pick a spot to go over that road. So he's standing, he's probably at like 12 yards.
Quite close.
There's a whole bush between me and him, so I'm trying to pick a hole without really moving too much. I finally pick a spot. I'm like, well, I'm going to shove my shotgun as far through this bush and lean forward as I can and try to take a shot. So I touch off, bird rolls, flops around. He's in that winter wheat, so when he goes down, I can't see him. And I try to run to him immediately, but there's a whole bunch of brush in front of me. So I probably fought through that for 10 seconds. And when I get out and finally like lift my head up, he's running away, but he's not really moving that fast.
Yeah.
So I go to shoot him again, but I have this problem with this Winchester that I shoot. I always half rack it. I don't know why.
So I don't slide the action.
I don't slide the action far enough, and it doesn't put another shell in the chamber. So I go to shoot. Click. My God. Look at the gun. I'm like, I know exactly what I did. Rack it, put another one in, then he's probably at 30 yards. And he's moving at this point. And we're both running at full speed. So I try to shoot him while I'm running in a full sprint through 2 foot of winter wheat, miss.
Right.
And then he takes off. And when he took off, he was probably 25 yards from me in the air. I put it right on him, and I'm like, click, half racked it again.
Oh,
and meanwhile, Miken, who was with me, he was running behind me, but he thought I missed, so he didn't even try to shoot it again. Went back, looked. I'm like, there's like, I know he rolled.
It's just so hard to find.
And then, so when he took off, he went to go over that road, and there's trees on both sides.
Uh-huh.
So I saw him hit those trees, like go into the first set of trees. And as soon as he hit that, I cut up onto the road. And I was on the road in probably 3 seconds. I never saw him again.
Yeah.
I don't think he definitely didn't fly across the whole next field. He didn't run because there was fresh dew, and I could see everywhere anyone had walked. Even the bird, I could see where he came in. I went back and looked where I shot. I mean, I hit like 2 sticks, but nothing. I mean, little twigs.
Yeah.
I was shooting a modified choke.
Well,
because I forgot my full, but that shouldn't have made a difference.
If you want to know about choke tubes and you're listening to this, go back to the shotgun episode.
Yeah. So I had a light modified in, and I also couldn't find the shells I wanted, so I was shooting 3-inch 5 bismuths, which are not bad shells.
Yeah, it should be okay.
Either way, I feel like I should have. That bird should have dropped. He rolled.
Either way, you had a turkey at like 15 yards.
Yeah.
And didn't get him.
But we crawl around in the thickest blowdowns and like briar patches you can't even see a foot into, and I was soaking wet, and we looked for like 2 hours, and we never found him.
Yeah.
And it was a big tom.
They're very hard to find.
Yeah. So that was disappointing.
So that was your 6 hours to hunt in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, we went to a few other spots. There's people everywhere, obviously, but we didn't even hear another bird.
Yeah. And then on Tuesday.
Yep. So Tuesday, I got up. My plan was to, sleep as long as possible. Whenever I wake up, I'm going to leave. I get up at like noon, and
Oh, get to be a college kid. again and be able to sleep until noon.
Oh,
I
was preparing to drive.
I'm not giving you a hard
28 hours.
time, man. I'm happy when I can sleep past 5 a.m. now. So, like, I'm jealous that you can sleep until noon. Trust me, it's a blessing.
Anyway, I slept till noon, and I get up and I'm packing, and I'm like packed at like 12:30. But then I got a whole list of people I gotta see.
Oh, whatever.
Oh,
people love
people
you.
love me. Yeah.
You gotta see grandmas and-
So I saw everyone. I only ended up leaving about 5. And I mean, the drive out here was pretty uneventful. I stopped in St. Louis, watched a baseball game,
That's cool.
watched the Arizona Cardinals play the Pittsburgh Pirates.
No, I think the St.
Louis Cardinals. Yeah, that one.
The Arizona Cardinals play football.
That's football
in a different state.
Yeah, that ticket cost me $13. So
that's crazy.
Definitely worth it. Stopped at the Bass Pro Shops in Springfield.
Yeah, why doesn't Bass Pro Shops
carry TSS
shotgun shells for turkeys? We have a real bone to pick with the folks at Bass Pro Shops.
I stopped at 2 Bass Pro Shops, and they didn't have any.
But Eddie, you got out here Thursday, right?
Yep, I got here Thursday at
dinner time.
Yeah, 4-ish.
Yeah, and then Friday we took off. We don't want to divulge any secrets. It's weird here in New Mexico, like, because all the big game hunting is by draw.
Mm-hmm.
Like, big game spots are kind of like, you don't really worry that much about talking about them.
But turkey's over the counter.
So, like, tell people where I turkey hunt. There's plenty of people that know, but let's just say we were turkey hunting in northern New Mexico.
Yeah. We started in Santa Fe. We went one of the cardinal directions.
Yeah, we went some direction from Santa Fe for several hours. Ish.
So we got there, Friday at 2-ish?
Yeah, 2:30, I think.
2:30. Got to camp, said hi to people. Went out. What time do you think we went out?
Yeah, we had a couple other people. We met up with our buddy Jeremy Romero, who Jeremy's been on the podcast. He was on the one about Caitlin's elk hunt. Super good guy, really accomplished turkey hunter. And
he can make some good food, man. That might be some of the best meals I've eaten in years.
Man, he had Pacific cod tacos. He had caught Pacific cod in Alaska last year. He made us fish tacos, and there were some kind of lamb ribs tacos the next night, and a breakfast burrito
this morning. Chorizo?
Yeah, chorizo, breakfast burrito, green chili. They were good.
Everything was tortilla based.
Yeah, well, you're in New Mexico, man. Everything is tortilla based. But yeah, so we probably get out in the woods 3:30.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, so we hiked, I don't know, what'd you say it was? 4 miles?
I don't think it's
I don't believe that.
I think it's probably 2.5 to 3.
All right.
Without hearing
anything.
Through good country. Through I don't know if I'll end up doing a turkey season episode or not, but Caitlin got one on the first day, and that was about halfway through that walk. And there's a story I got to get Poppy to tell, a turkey story from almost the same place where Caitlin got hers, but we had to go way farther than that.
Yeah, so we're walking out a ridge.
Oh, we should mention Zach too.
Oh yeah, Zach. What's it? Klein?
Klein.
Dr. Klein?
Dr. Klein, my buddy Zach Klein, who's a professor at New Mexico State University, came up and joined us.
He's a nice guy.
He is a fantastic guy. And not a bad turkey caller either.
No, he's pretty good. So yeah, we're walking out a ridge. You might be better at explaining this than I am, but we're walking out a ridge and we hear birds on the next ridge over.
Yeah, kind of. They're just like, it was kind of a reasonably shallow draw in between us and the next ridge, and we heard those birds. They were probably 200 yards away or something when we first heard them.
Yeah. So we get set up. Me and Mike are sitting together. Zach was behind us. He was moving around, but he was probably started 30 yards behind us.
Yeah, but he dropped back quite a bit.
Yeah.
Because those birds, when we first heard them, they seemed hot and they seemed like they were coming fast. And then they almost seemed like they lost interest a little bit and they started going away again.
Yeah.
And then when they started going away, then Zach moved farther back, and that really got him
Yeah.
going. But because they were coming in so fast, at first it seemed like they were coming so fast. The spot that we set up, like we set up off the kind of point or off the top of the ridge down onto the side that the turkeys were coming from, but it wasn't a great spot because we could only maybe see 30 yards down the hill.
Yeah, in the good spots.
Right.
So yeah, we sat there probably, I don't know, 20 minutes, 25 minutes.
Yeah.
And I saw the birds coming. I saw them fly across the bottom of the.
That's still crazy that they flew.
Yeah, I saw both of them.
Yeah.
So
it was 2 times together.
It was 2 times together, yes. So I saw them fly across the bottom of the, I don't know what you want to call that. I guess the bottom of the valley draw, yeah. And then, it was another few minutes, and I saw them. They both walked almost directly in front of me, but I thought they were too far. Looking back, they were probably only at like 50 yards.
Yeah.
But once again, I don't really turkey hunt that often, and I don't really know what I'm doing. So
and I couldn't see them.
Yeah, you couldn't
mean,
see
even though we were basically right next to each other.
We were like, 3 feet apart?
Yeah, I could not see the spot where you saw them walk through.
Yeah, so they walked like in the wide open. I mean, they never stopped, but they walked in the wide open. Straight in front of me would have been a good shot.
Yeah.
3-4 feet between them, so I wouldn't have had to worry about hitting both of them.
Well, you could get both of them.
Oh, yeah.
You had 2 tags. You wouldn't have had to worry about hitting both of them.
Anyway, but that was directly in front of me, and they're still going to my left. So I'm thinking, and Zach at this point is back pretty far, but he's also to my left pretty far. So I'm thinking they're going to keep following this up. They're going to go to him. I'm not going to see him. So the way I'm sitting, I'm still facing downhill. I don't want to move because they're close. And I'm sort of watching for them. I'm sort of thinking they're going to be far, and then one pops up at 30 yards. But about as far left as I could turn to shoot. And I, once again, I thought he was looking right at me. Like he got into a little bit of a clearing where I could see him. I could see his whole body. And he stopped. Like they went from they were coming to the call.
Right.
And he stopped dead and was looking my way. So I have to move now because I got to swing all the way left. And 2, I think he's looking at me. So long story short, I rushed my shot. I turned and I thought he was going to run, and I did not take enough time to aim, and I just whiffed.
Right. Totally would miss that.
Oh,
one.
Yeah.
And then he I didn't really see him until after you shot, and I sat forward. He didn't really,
no, he didn't do much.
He didn't do much. He was just kind of like, what the heck was that? Which I think really means
he wasn't
was
looking
not
at me.
Looking at you.
Yeah.
They can see so well
mm-hmm.
that they just make you nervous. I mean, I get the same way. They make me nervous when I think they can see me. I often think that they see me and they don't.
Later in the story, when we get to the part where I actually finally kill a turkey, I can think back about that and remember what I was doing. But that first one I missed, even right after thinking about that shot, I couldn't tell you where I was aiming.
No, yeah.
I was just, and I felt calm when those birds were walking up. I wasn't nervous. I wasn't, I was excited, but I wasn't shaky excited.
Yeah.
But I look back and I can't tell you where I aimed.
Right.
I just pointed and shot.
Never a good sign.
Yeah.
Right.
So that was just a mishap.
So that's strike 2.
That would be strike 2.
And then those birds, there was still some gobbling going on in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
When we left that. Because that's just kind of 5:30?
Yeah.
When you missed that one, maybe a little later?
Yeah, probably 5:30, 6 o'clock. But then we worked our way in slow. We sat there for probably half an hour calling those birds, and we sat there for probably 20 minutes while I contemplated all my life decisions.
This is the first time Hunter threatened to quit. I think he said, I'm done turkey hunting forever or something like that.
I felt a little bad for Zach at this point because he did all that work.
Well,
call that bird in and then
that's how it goes.
Just whiff. And then we hunt our way back out. We probably got halfway back out, heard another gobble back where we were set up for that bird,
Yep.
and then got back to the truck.
So we went in the next day, same area, and man, they were really going. There was a couple birds in there that probably, I mean, I think probably it was probably 4 birds.
Mm-hmm.
Those 2 that you had missed, and I'm sure they stayed together because they had slightly different sounding gobbles, and we actually encountered those birds a couple times, and then at least 2 other birds.
Yeah. I think it's important to mention that the second morning we went up a different direction.
Oh,
we parked at a different spot.
Yeah.
Mike made me walk up a mountain for like an hour in the dark, just straight uphill.
Yeah, that wasn't. It seemed like a good idea. It was much shorter distance.
Oh yeah. I mean, all things considered, it wasn't terrible.
Yeah, there's 2 ways into this spot. One way is twice as far distance wise, but not nearly as much climbing, and the other one is half the distance but straight up a mountain.
Yeah.
Right.
Straight up a mountain and then across a ridge and then down and then up and then down.
Yeah, right. It was a pain.
Yeah.
But those birds were going so good on the roost, and then right when they got down.
And hens too.
Yep. We called a hen in real close. Zach said he could have grabbed that one.
Yeah, she milled around at my feet for like a minute.
Right. But then by 7:15 they just quit.
Mm-hmm.
And we were not sure. There's kind of 2 different canyons that they could have gone up, or draws, and we didn't know which one they went up. But I mean, it just went totally quiet, and we climbed the ridge in between those 2 canyons, and from 7:15 in the morning until about 1:30 in the afternoon, we did not hear a turkey. Not a hen, not a gobble.
Yep.
Nothing. Right?
Yeah.
And so then we decided to split up when we were on that ridge, and Zach, we wanted to cover both of the canyons coming out, so Zach dropped in on one side and we dropped in on the other. And admittedly, we went down the better canyon. We went down the one we thought it was more likely the turkeys had gone in. Zach was gracious about that too.
We also got some mid-morning naps in there.
Yeah, there were a few naps. There was another instance of Hunter threatening to quit. This time was snack related.
That wasn't even to quit. I just forgot to bring food, and then I was like, I'm gonna hike back to the truck, and then I'll meet you guys back up here.
We would have never seen you again.
Yeah, you would have. I would have been back so fast. You would have fallen asleep. I would have woke you up.
Sure. Anyway, and then, I don't know, we were only down in that canyon, 20 minutes, half an hour?
Yeah, I mean, canyon's probably, half a mile long? Maybe maybe a little, probably a little more.
Yeah.
3/4 of a mile, and we started at the top, and we probably got, I don't know, probably walked for 10 minutes.
Yeah,
10, 15
like
minutes.
I mean, we stopped and called maybe twice once we were in the canyon.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was either the second or third time. And again, having not heard a bird all morning, then all of a sudden make one call, and it's just like the world came alive.
And there's turkeys everywhere.
Yeah, and so I think that those 2 birds that were together and the one that you missed on Friday, I think those 2 birds were below us, maybe 150 yards or something. And that was actually when we started. Those were the 2 that answered. And you set up. It's kind of hard in that it's a canyon, but it's not like it's not real wide. It's maybe like 150 yards wide in most spots, but a lot of it's open, and then there's kind of little pinch points with trees.
Mm-hmm.
And we were in one of those pinch points with trees, or we got to one of those pinch points with trees, just kind of to where we couldn't see down to where we thought the turkeys were that were gobbling. And you sat down at a tree, and I backed up.
Yep.
And they were hot for a minute, and then they seemed like they were going, well, then they kind of stopped, and they
got real quiet.
Yeah, they got quiet.
I don't know if that was, depending on where they come from or were coming from, if they just got around a point or
Right.
we're coming in from another. They drop back in a canyon somewhere.
But it was a while, and they weren't moving. At least they
Yeah.
were still responding, but they weren't.
They sounded like they were further than they were when we started.
So then I came back down to you because I had gone probably 60, 80 yards behind you. I came back down to you, and we're kind of like contemplating what to do, and I called, and a bird fired off, a brand new bird fired off on the ridge above us to our right.
Yeah.
And the other birds down the canyon, all of a sudden,
were coming back.
They got more excited. They sounded much closer. And then those three birds were kind of gobbling back and forth at each other, and we're sort of in the middle of it, right?
Yeah.
And but that bird to our right particularly was too close for me to move.
Yeah.
Like now we're stuck. So I'm right next to you.
Yeah, so I sat up originally with my back to a tree facing down that canyon, like towards that pinch point, thinking, well, if they're going to come up, they're going to basically walk straight up this trail. And there was a little bit of a blowdown there, and I'm thinking, all right, well, they're going to come up here and get around this blowdown, and then they're going to be at 30 yards, 35 yards. So I sat up basically so I could rest on my knee and shoot anywhere from straight in front of me all the way to my left, like that whole left side.
Right.
And that was for those two birds they sounded like they were coming.
Right.
And then that bird up on the hill fired off again, and the other two seemed like they held up a little bit.
But it was still hard to know. I mean, It was still kind of a crapshoot.
Oh, yeah.
Any of those birds could have been the one to come.
So then I sort of I just turned 90 degrees to look right up the hill. And there was a big pine tree in front of me. Well, not a big pine tree. Like
a small pine tree, but very close.
Pine tree, really close with a lot of branches.
Right.
So I wasn't really in a good spot to shoot up the hill. And then I think I turned back to look down the canyon again.
Yeah, I think so.
And then I turned back again. And then I turned back again.
Right.
And then I stayed pointing right. The two birds that were coming up the canyon held up.
Yeah, it became obvious that the one coming off the ridge in our right was coming more.
Yeah.
And you hadn't gotten turned that last time. You weren't in that position too long before I saw him.
Yeah.
I saw him poke up over. He poked his head up over. He was at like 110 yards, and he was looking down. And I had a turkey fan that I had out, and I think he could see it. I don't know, but he poked out. He looked down at us. He disappeared. I think maybe I called again. He came back to that spot, and then you saw him there too.
Yeah.
And then you said he ran to the left.
Yeah, so what I saw him standing there looking down, poked his head out. But then he turned quick. Like he went from, that sort of sentry position to like head down running. Like he whipped around and disappeared.
And then we couldn't see him.
And
then he didn't gobble.
Yeah. He got quiet.
And I didn't want to call because I didn't really want to give away our position. I wasn't sure if he knew exactly where we were or not. But I don't know. Then it probably went 3 minutes or something.
Yeah. Long enough that it was like, where'd he go?
It felt like a very long time.
And the thing was, had he gone right or left, one of us should have been able to see him.
Right.
Like the only way he would have slipped out of there is if he went straight up the hill.
Right. Which is not what he did.
No. He went straight down the hill.
Right. And so I picked up the call because I was using my box call. I picked up the call and they're like, yep. And man, when he gobbled,
I jumped.
Yeah. It was like, oh shoot. And I even said to Hunter, because I'm like kind of right just behind Hunter, I said, I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
Because when you're doing this and you got a turkey close like that, if you've never done this, like you don't they're very good at locating exactly where sound comes from, and so the less you can call
when they're getting close,
the better, because you want them looking for you instead of having you absolutely pinpointed.
Yeah.
Well,
which at that point he did.
Yeah, I think he had us very much so pinpointed. and then he popped out. I was sitting up
On the
and
right.
so I was higher than you and slightly to your right.
You were on the right side of the tree for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I could see him. And I'm like, do you see him, Hunter? Like, no, I can't see him. The tree's in my way. And I'm like,
Well, so I think at that point, you said, can you see him at first? I said no, because I hadn't seen him. Right after that, I'm like, oh, there he is. But I'm looking at him like all I can see is parts of his body passing through the trees as he's walking. Like the branches in front of me were so thick.
yeah.
Like it was something I would not have even thought about shooting through.
Right.
And it was like that, like he was probably at 20 yard, 25
25, yeah.
when he popped out there.
Uh-huh.
And he got to like 20, and then he's standing on top of sort of this real steep part that goes down into a
It's like
sort of a
like
creek.
gully.
Yeah. And I'm like, well, he's got to go right or left because I can barely see him. And he starts going right, and he's walking, but he's staring right at us. And he gets to, like, he takes a couple steps, a step or two to go down into that ravine. And I'm thinking, all right, well, he's almost at this hole, where I'd have a shot. If I lean over, I can shoot him where he's standing. Or if he can take 2 more steps, I'll shoot him where he's standing. Well, he did neither of those. I went to lean. I moved my knee maybe like a quarter of an inch.
Yep.
And he took off.
Oh, he saw you right away. He putted and he turned around and started running. And I said, shoot him, Hunter.
And it just so happened that when he ran through like the biggest hole in those trees I had.
Yeah.
And he made it probably made it like 10 yards running. Not even.
No, not that far, no.
And boom.
Yep.
He didn't go anywhere.
Third time's a charm.
Third time's the charm.
Oh man. Well, it was a epic 3 days of turkey hunting. We heard nothing on the roost first thing this morning, but we actually got a few birds going later in the morning. Never got them to come in, but it's Mother's Day today, and I had to get home.
He has some other duties to attend.
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously, Caitlin is an amazing mother, and I'm very lucky to have her as a wife, and she's very kind to be totally okay with me going turkey hunting on Mother's Day weekend. So thanks, Caitlin. But no, I mean, I think we'll wrap it up there. Thanks so much for swinging through New Mexico on your way to Wyoming. It's really been great.
I've had a blast. I think I don't want to say for sure, but I might be one of the only people who's missed turkeys 2,000 miles apart in the same week.
Yeah, like 5 days and
5
2,000
days and
miles, or 4 days and 2,000 miles apart.
2,000 miles.
Well, this was your first turkey, so congratulations on your first bird, man.
Thanks.
Yeah. Well, I hope you have a great summer in Cody. I hope I can come up and visit. I'm going to try to make it up there once.
Yeah, you should come up and hunt with turkeys with me in Wyoming again.
I don't know that I'll be able to make it up before turkey season ends, but
well, you got 20 days.
Yeah, there's a little bit of time left. So, all right. Well, thanks again, Hunter.
Yep. Anytime.
All right. I love you.
Love you.
Hunting and fishing, the great outdoors, mixing history, laughter, love, and folklore. Creating memories with family and friends. These are the trophies that matter in the end. Outdoor rules.